Hi everyone, welcome to this video tutorial on simultaneous equation. And if you are one of my students, this is question 14 from your revision pack for term 3 exam. So without any further ado, let's take a look at this question. So the question says to me that I have an equation which is 2x minus 3y is equal to 3, and I also have another equation, so let's call this equation 1. And equation number 2 is 3x plus 6y, and that's equal to 1. Okay, step number 1. You need to make at least 2 terms the same. So what I mean by the 2 terms, easy. This is the 2x and the 3x. These two are terms. The 3y here and the 6y, they are terms as well. And what I want to do is I want to make at least 2 of them the same. And the reason why I want to do this is because if I can do that, then later on I can just cancel them out and find one of the variables, one of the letters. Okay, so how can I make at least 2 terms the same? Let's look at the 2x and the 3x. The question I'm going to ask myself is, what can I multiply the 2x and the 3x to make them the same? Well, I can multiply this one by 2, and I can multiply this one by 3, and if I do so, then this will become 6x and this one will become 6x. The other option I have is look at the y's. Let's take a look at the y's. Here I've got 6y, and I know for a fact if I multiply this one by 2, it will become 6y. And I think personally this is easier to do than multiplying these two by 3 or by 2. So I'm going to choose to multiply this whole equation by 2 before checking that it works for both of them. Okay? So we're going to move on to step number 2 now. So step 2, if I multiply all this equation by 2, 2x times 2 becomes 4x, minus 3y times 2 becomes 6y, equal to 3 times 2 becomes 6. The second equation is going to stay the same because I haven't touched it at all. I haven't done anything to it. So this is what we get. So now in step 2, I'm going to cancel out one of the variables, and the variables are one of the letters. Okay, and if I look carefully, in step 1 I made the y's the same, and the reason for that is because if they are the same, I can either add them or take them away and they will cancel out. So you have to choose whether you're going to add or take away. Now let's see if I try to add, what happens. If I try to add equation 1 and equation 2 together, what happens? Well, 4 plus 3x becomes 7x. Fine. But more importantly, minus 6y plus 6y, does it cancel out? Does it become 0? Yes, it does. Because minus 6y plus 6y, a plus and a plus stays a plus, is equal to 0. So I've managed to cancel this out. And this is what you're looking for when you are trying to cancel out one of the variables. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and add because I know it works. And if I do the sums now of the two equations adding together, 4x plus 3x is equal to 7x. Minus 6y plus 6y, we know that it will cancel out. And that's equal to 6 plus 1, which is equal to 7. Okay, great. Now, let's move on to step number 3. In step 3, you find x. Okay, the variable x. So how do we do this? Well, so far we had 7x is equal to 7. If I want to find out x, it's just a matter of taking the times 7 to the other side, and it becomes divide by 7 because it's the opposite operation. So 7 divided by 7 is equal to 1. And this is one of the answer that I'm looking for. Now, we're not completely done because when you are solving simultaneous equation, you have to find two answers. The value for x and also the value for y. So now I'm going to show you how to find the value of y. We know equation number 1 is 2x minus 3y, which is equal to 3. And equation number 2 is 3x plus 6y, which is equal to 1. What I want you to do for step 4 is choose one equation and substitute. In other words, change x with the previous answer we found. And let me tell you what I mean by this. Just a second ago we found that x is equal to 1. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this 1 here and I'm going to substitute it into equation number 1 here, or equation number 2, whichever one I choose. I'm going to choose equation number 1, okay? I just think that it looks easier. So let's do this. I will say sub x equal to 1 into equation 1. So I get 2x minus 3y is equal to 3. So now I'm going to change the x with 1. So 2 times 1 minus 3y is equal to 3. 2 times 1 is equal to 2. Minus 3y is equal to 3, which stays the same. Next, I'm going to take the 2 to the other side. And if I take it to the other side, I do the opposite operation. And the opposite operation of a positive 2 becomes negative 2. So I've got minus 3y is equal to 3 take away 2, which is equal to 1. And now I can find out what y is by taking the times minus 3 to the other side. And the times becomes a divide by minus 3. And here's my answer for y. And there you have it. I've solved my simultaneous equation and I found the value of x, which is equal to 1, and the value of y, which is equal to minus 1 over 3. If you write down your answer as y equal to 0.333 recurring, then it's okay. That's fine as well. But it's better if you leave it as a fraction. Well, I hope you understood this tutorial, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to upload few more to help you out with your revision. Thanks for listening and watching, and see you later.